Hi everyone, welcome to this YouTube channel. That's if you're not new yet, but if you're new, welcome. I'm glad you clicked the video. So what do I do on this channel? On this channel, I share web development tutorials. Alright, then I also implore you to subscribe to my blog, ubcodesblog.com. I share insightful articles and content relating to mental health, books, and web development. Okay, it worked. Alright, so do feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel too. You can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, let's connect on LinkedIn, and you can also follow me on GitHub. So let's get into what we want to do today. We're learning GraphQL today. It's just to be like a crash course. I also hope on doing more videos in the future regarding actually putting more of these things into application. So I feel like as a web developer, it's quite, or rather, either a web developer or basically a front-end developer, you're a front-end engineer. It's an amazing quality to be able to, transform the designs you make or the designs you're giving into code. That's amazing. Another thing too is I feel that would also be good would be adding functionality to your website. Functionality in the terms of, let's say you're giving a login page to design, to code. So it gives you the design, and you're giving this login page to actually put into code. Alright. I feel like the work doesn't just stop at interpreting that design into code. I feel like, okay, when the user actually logs in, when the user actually signs up, where is the data going to? Okay, or if you're designing a website, or rather the design you're giving, you're coding it out, let me put it that way, and it's probably, let's say, a website where you fetch, okay, if this is a website where you want to find the names of people in a class, you want to find the names of people in school, you want to find the names of countries, you want to find the names of actors and all that. Alright, you've designed it. I feel it's also going to add to your proficiency, being able to actually fetch that data. So that's where something like GraphQL comes in. So in a layman's language, GraphQL is for fetching data, and we can just search it up right now so we can know what GraphQL. That's like the layman language I can give you. Should we put meaning? GraphQL meaning. So GraphQL is an open source query language that describes how a client should request information through an API. In a broad sense, GraphQL is a syntax developers can use to ask for specific data and return that data from multiple sources. Well, that's what the internet says, so let's actually start programming. So it's just a crash course, and you're going to, by the end of this video, you're going to be able to comfortably fetch data requests and implement it in your website. And later on in other videos, we'll actually build more complex projects with this foundational knowledge that we'll be getting today. So let's get right into it. That's weird. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to start by, I'm using VS Studio as my IDE. Okay, so I'll start by creating a new folder, just the normal usual way. So I'm just going to go right probably in my documents. You can create it on your desktop, whatever suits you. I think I have a place where so I'm just going to create this and a new folder, and I'll call this GraphQL tutorial. Okay, I could either right click this, show more options, and open it with code. And I feel like just that open with code options comes in when you actually do it in the process of, when you're installing your VS Code. So where is it now? I'm just going to drag and drop this. I think we're set. Okay. Alright, so GraphQL tutorial. The first thing we want to start by doing is creating our React app. Also, we're using React and something called Apollo client. So we're just going to do npx create React app. I put dots to show that it should create it inside this folder. If I didn't want it to create inside this folder and I probably just wanted to create a different folder, then I would have put the name of the folder instead of the dots, or the full stop rather. So basically, while the thing is loading, let me give you guys a brief entry into it. So yeah. So we're using Apollo client, and you might not be so sure of what Apollo client is. Let me see why my stuff isn't working. So let's check that again. What's Apollo client? I'm not here to give you theory, I'm here to actually teach you. So Apollo client is a state management library that simplifies managing remote and local data with GraphQL. So while we're waiting, open up this in your browser, graphqlbean.com. So that's where we're going to be playing with our GraphQL codes. So in the meantime, let's search for a couple of there are various APIs you can use for this. So what I did was just search for free GraphQL API so I can know which ones to teach you guys with. So there are various free APIs you can see. There's SpaceX API, there's SwapPy, I don't know, Star Wars API, basically Rick and Morty API, Countries API. We'll be using Countries API. So let's try it out here. Let me try it out here. And we're going to see the API right here. So basically, we're going to be able to fetch various data. Okay, so here's the API link. I'm also going to put it in the description below. So just go there and click the link if you want to go through this. So I'm going to let's go back, just do what I'm doing. Yeah, let's go back to this playground and let's Ctrl V it, and you say use endpoint. All right. So this is So I always advise, and I'm saying it again, that ChatGPT is important, and also another thing that you should not I feel like don't let the existence of ChatGPT take away the culture of actually taking your time to read through docs. Okay, so if I click on it, I'm going to open this in a new time just for convenience, because I'm going to get back to this. So this docs just gives us how we can use various ways we can actually use and examples of using GraphQL data. Alright, so if I go back here, we can also see the same thing here. So let's just copy this and see what it does. So I'm going to just take this, okay, and paste. Oh, sorry, take this. Okay, I'm going to come back here. Where was this? And I'm going to paste this right here. Okay, so if you put it, so now I don't expect you to understand anything that's written here, but I'm going to explain it by doing. Okay, so now if you come here and click on docs, you see various queries. You see the continent query, the continents query, you see country, you see country, you see language, and you see languages. Okay, so let's pick and then you see the schema. So what's a schema in GraphQL? Let's also check that. What's a schema in GraphQL? I don't know, it's tongue twisting for me. So your GraphQL server uses a schema to describe the shape of your available data. So the schema defines a hierarchy of types with fields that are populated from your backend data stores. The schema also specifies exactly which queries and mutations are available for clients to execute. Okay, so let's just get back here, and here we can see various schemas that we have here. So I'll be working more with the docs. So you see we have a query. The query is we have continent. So I'll start with continents. And continents, you see we have the type, the code, the countries, and the name. So I'm just going to write here and let's put query. And we have type. Sorry, yeah, we have code. So query. Then we'll start with continents. We want to find the query for continent. So I'm going to put continents. Okay. Another continent, what are we looking for? We want to find the code of the various continents. As you can see, we have an exclamation mark in front of the code ID, meaning that it's compulsory. So we have countries and we have name. So this, I don't think this is not sufficient enough. Why? So under the continent, when we go to countries, you see that we still have under the number of things to specify under the country. So what exactly are we looking for in the countries? We want to look for the names. We want to look, okay, we can choose to look for the codes of the countries that we're looking for. We can also look for the name of the various countries. And let's add one more thing. Let's probably add, let's add currency. Okay, what other thing? You could add capital. Let's put capital. Okay, and this is enough. So when we play this right here, we get the name of the continent and we get the countries. Okay, so the code AF would mean Africa. Let me see, let's try this. Coming. Yeah, so name Africa is in the order we put it. So name, so Africa is a continent, so we have the code AF and we have the countries under it, the various countries. And for Nigeria, if we see Nigeria here, we'll see, if we look for NG, probably we choose for, yeah, so we can see Nigeria. You can see the name of Nigeria, the name of the country is Nigeria, the capital of the country is Abuja, and the currency is NGN. All right, so that's nice. So let's also try something else so we have like a broad understanding of how to work with this. So we'll do a query for country. We'll do a query for country, and let's write it as countries. For countries, so in countries we can find the capital of the country, can find the name of the country, can find the code of the country, or can find the currency of that country. So let's just play around with that and let's see what happens. Yeah, as you can see, we have these countries. So this is just a general, I think it just brings probably all the countries that is already contained in the API. Okay, so let's try one more. Let's try. So what we'll be working with in this video will be language and languages. So for example, now let's search for various languages. So languages, that's like plural, and these languages, you can see, you can get the code of the language, you can get the name of the language, and you can get the native of the language. I'm not too sure what RTL means, but I won't be using it. Just this. So we can see AF Africans, this is a native, then the native you guys get. So I won't be making use of RTL. So if we're working with singular, how would that look like? So language this time. Alright, so stop recording here. So language this time. So if I click on docs, come to language, you can see you can still get the same thing, the code, the name, the native. Okay, I'm skeptical if this would work. Okay, so now what we'll do is to try and actually add a code to it. I don't see why this is not working. It won't work. Okay, I'm going to come back to this. Yeah, I'll come back to this. Okay, so let's go back to something real quick. Let's go back to our project. So our project is ready, so we'll write npm start. Okay, it should open up in the browser. It's taking time. So I won't be using Brave. I prefer using Chrome for debugging and all that to be needed. I think I'm going to make this thing fixed because it's really, I mean, my taskbar settings here. Fixed. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah, that's better. So what was I saying? Yeah, I want to use it here. So I'm going to go local host 30. So yeah, let's shift this. So here's our React app running. Before we start, we're going to need let's install some packages. We'll be installing Apollo clients and GraphQL. So npm install at apollo/clients and GraphQL. So that's going to be loading still. Yeah, so it's ready. Yeah, as you can see, we have that installed. Okay, another thing we install will be npm install react router DOM. We're going to be routing between pages, so we need react router DOM. So npm install react router DOM. So let's go to our index.js and let's start making changes to our website, our distance. So let's go to app.js, and we won't be needing majority of the things here. Yeah, so I'm just going to clear this out, and we'll see that it's been cleared here. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So okay. So let's really get started now, right? So let's create, like I said, we'll be making use of language and languages. So let's go back to our playground, and we did a query for, where did my query go to? So query, and we did that for languages. I mentioned that in the languages we want to get the name, the code, and the native. Okay, I'm just going to put this code before the name. Okay, and if we play that, we get all this ready. All right, so I'm going to come back to our page, and we'll go to index.js, and we're going to do something. We're going to use our Apollo clients. So I'm going to say import Apollo clients, as you can see here, from Apollo clients, and I think we'll be making use of will be in memory cake, okay, and Apollo provider. So you can read more about what these things do, or we could just quickly check it out, because okay, let's see. What does Apollo provider do? Wraps or reacts, yeah, and it enables you to access it anywhere from your component tree. So this thing, you can just set it up for, we try to go through the docs to actually understand it better. Like I said, it's just a crash course. I'm not going too in depth with, I'm just going to give you a basic foundation on everything. So right from here, we're going to write const client, okay, and we're going to const client is equals to new Apollo clients, okay, and right there we're going to give it a URI, and here we're going to put in the link. So let's just copy this, okay, and we're going to paste it right there. No, I should be able to go about this. Okay, I'm just going to come here and copy it. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, I'm going to paste it right here, and below we're going to create the cake. So now what this cake will do is that it will allow us to actually store and manage the results of GraphQL queries locally on the client side. So I'll write that down so you understand it in memory cake. So what I said, so we're going to call this like a function. So what I said is that it allows us to store and manage the results of GraphQL locally on our client side. Okay, so we're going to come here. I'm just going to cut this out and I'm going to write Apollo provider. I'm going to wrap this and put the app inside. Okay, so that's like the first thing you should do when you're setting it up. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, so we're going to come here. I'm going to write client is equals to client. All right, so yeah, I think we're set. Okay, yeah, we're set. So another thing we'll do now is that we're going to go to our app.js, and in our app.js, let's create our pages file. Let's create a pages. Excuse me. Yeah. So create a pages file, and in page I'm going to create something called languages.js. Let's create languages.js. Okay, I'll write this RFC. If you're wondering how this came about, I'll advise you to download an extension, React snippet. So I think something like starts with ES7. React snippets. So yeah, I think I have it installed already. So yeah, this is like the React snippet. So this helps you to just generate this instead of like wasting time there. So alright. So one thing we'll be doing now would be to we've created this component. So go to our app.js and I'm going to import it. So import languages. So we're going to get that working. So we're going to come here and import it as a component. If you're doing this course, I would advise you that you have a little bit of knowledge about React, because some of the things we're doing, I'm not explaining React, but I'm just building on it. Okay, I realize this thing is creating like a mustache shadow. I don't have any mustache. You see. So the languages. So if you click on it, like hold control down and click on it, you can get access to it. So majority of the work we're going to be doing is and if you come back to load, yeah, we're going to see languages here. All right, so we'll go to our app.js because most of our styling is coming from app.css rather. So I'm going to clear all the styling there. Okay, and I'll just add a little bit of our own styling right here. So let's just give it like something like a max width of 70 rem and give it a margin of about 10 rem or 2. So I think that just makes it everything set. Okay, so it's looking better. So let's actually start making some queries. All right, so what we'll do is that we'll go back here and we're going to import. I'm using Copilot, so import use query and GQL from Apollo clients. All right, so we're going to create a const get languages, give the name called get languages equals to GQL. I'm going to use something called template strings. It's just right above your tab this thing. Okay, so here in the template string, what we're just going to do will be we're going to just copy and paste the query that we already made here. Okay, I'm going to just copy and paste it here. All right, so having done that, I'm going to come here. Okay, and we're going to it takes in 3 objects, and that's loading, error, and data. Then we're not going to say our loading error data is equals to the use query get languages. Alright, so what we'll now do is that we want to console.log. We're going to console when I use console.log, I want to review the data in our console. So we're going to put loading error and data. Okay, so if you go right back to our let's right click, inspect elements, and we're going to go to our console. Okay, I don't know why all this is happening, but I'm not really going to look at it. Okay, it's gone. Alright, so we can see here that we first have loading through, error undefined, data undefined. Then we have loading through, that means actually loading, error undefined, data undefined. Then if we come here, we can see the data you can see all the data that we're looking for. Yeah, we can see all the what we saw, what we did in our playground. You can see everything showing right here. So loading false means that it's done loading. You get, so error, there's no error, and it shows the data. And when the data wasn't loaded, you saw that it was data undefined. So it's pretty basic like that. So let's just continue going here. Okay, well, you see, there's a better way of doing this. Instead of having everything right inside one page, you do something called creating hooks. So we're going to create an hook. That way we can actually reuse it. So create a folder called hooks, and we're going to come and we're going to write use languages.js. Okay, so having done that, we're not making we're not doing anything that's complicated. So what we'll do now, let's just cut this away, Control X. Let's go back to our use languages and just paste it right there. And like I said, let's use our REFCE snippets. REFCE. Okay, so I can just take this out when we're needing this. So I haven't done that. So go back to our languages, and we're just going to cut this out too. Control X and go back to our use languages and just paste it here. So this way we can get to reuse it. Then we're going to come to this too. We're going to cut it away, go to our use languages and just paste it right there. Okay, then now what will be returning won't be this. Sorry, I mean in our use languages, what will be returning won't be this. We'll change this out. Returning returning data, the data, or let's put it in the way we already did. Return loading error and data. Okay, so second is that easy. So what we'll do now, we'll go back to our languages, and we actually want to render this on our website so we can actually see it. So how are we going to render it? So I'm here for you, don't worry. So to render it, we go back to our app go back to our languages rather, and let's render the stuff. Okay, so let's also create a quick CSS file and say languages.css. Okay, and we'll just do some minor stylings later on. Okay, so we're going to come here now. I'm going to import that use languages hook that we created, and we can see it's auto import here. All right, and let's also import our so let's import our languages from the CSS. Okay, so we've done that. So what we'll be doing now is that rather you'll now do our const error like we did before. So you know that we are not doing anything different. So let's go back to our use languages and let's copy this. Don't cut it, copy it. And by the way, this is not supposed to be this is supposed to be right inside here, not outside. Okay, so with that copied, let's also go to our languages.js. I'm going to paste it here, but the only thing what will be different this time is that I won't be using use query. Okay, we'll be calling use languages as a function. So we'll come here and write use languages, and everything here is going to be empty. So that's how we're going to use it here. So we're going to create various instances. So we're going to say if there's an error, what do we want to tell the user? So we want to return a div, and something like oops, an error occurred. Okay, that's one thing we'll do. Then we'll come right here and do another one and say loading. Okay, sorry, loading. Yeah. So if it's loading, what do we want to tell our users? We want to also return a div and say something like still loading. Okay. All right. So by the time we're sorting all this out, you understand what I mean. So yeah, let's just do something simple to render our. So we're going to give a class name of languages_container. I could just put container, whatever. That's what's going on. So we're now going to map over the languages. So we're going to do data.languages. Sorry, this was a bit small. So we're going to map over that. So language. I'm mapping over language this time. Just hold on, it's going to stop giving us an error soon. So now what we want to return? The data. Okay, return. Come on. Then we're going to create a div. Alright, we're going to give this div a class name of languages_box. Wait, I can spell languages. Okay, languages_box. Alright, so let's just come here. So what he has to have he needs to have a key. So key will be equals to language.code. Okay, so it's a unique key. So so we're going to write here language.code. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay. Oh, let's go. So to do an H2, I really don't know how my auto distance is not working. So right here, language dot name. I don't want to have to do this again because let's just give this an H3, make it an H3 tag, and instead of dot name, we'll make it we'll get the native. Okay. I think that's okay. So let's see if that's working. So we can see it right here. Everything was searching for. So what we'll do now would be to let's just give it a styling so it looks more proper. I pray I can give it a sensible styling. So we'll just do languages.container. Languages. I can spell languages, trust me. Languages underscore container. I think that's what. Okay. So let's give a display flex, a flex wrap, or justify content, space evenly. Okay, so space evenly. So we'll give a flex wrap or wrap. Okay. If you look at this, it's looking like this. So let's give it some borders. So languages, but this will become box. Okay, and we give it a background color of what color should we use? Let's see this as well. Is it making any difference? Let's look for something more realistic. Alice Blue, what's that about? Burley wood, chocolate, coral, cornflower book, corn slip, I think of some, is it sometimes what delays my programming is not that sometimes I don't know what to do. Some other times it's just indecisiveness. Like in terms of what color, what font goes well. I'm like, it's quite funny. I think light blue might be okay. Yeah. So let's add this bit of styling to it. So give it a margin about 30 pixels. Margin of 30 pixels. And give you a border radius of about 30 pixels too. And give it a padding of about 30 pixels. Nothing too serious. So that makes us set. Ooh, okay. This is looking better. Then just to make it look more professional, kind of, we can add like let's add like a B tag here. I'm just going to put B, sorry. So I'm just going to copy this, okay, and paste it right down here too. Same thing goes here. And I'm just going to put code name and language. So if you check that out, yes, this looks better. Okay, it's because of this. So yeah, I get it now. Let's give it space. But you guys get the point. I just wanted it to look, more sensible. You get. So yeah, I think we're done here. So let's actually try and target specific languages. All right. So we actually what we want to do next is such a way that we want to be able to fetch the data for just one specific. So if I click this code, this EU or Basque or Persian or let's. Okay, I saw Spanish. If you Spanish here, if I click on it, we want to route to another page that will actually, give us a specific detail about that language. Yeah. So let's go back here. Yeah, I had an issue trying to. I think let's actually take our time and figure it out. So we're going to put the code because the code is actually required. I'm going to give it code. Let's use AF because AF is here. And let's start. Okay, there's AF, there's AR, there's DE. Alright. So we're going to come here. I want to get a name. Let's get a native. So this should work. It's working. So let's put something like DE. It's also going to work. Okay. So we can just copy all this and keep it somewhere. So let's come back here. Alright, so we'll create another folder, another page called language. Please don't get confused. Language singular is what we're creating now. Language.js, and let's do RAFCE. Okay, so we have that set. So now I want to be able to route, and in the initial start of this stuff, I said we should install React Router DOM. So we're going to go back to app.js, and we're going to go back to index.js. Okay, and we're going to from React Router DOM, we get something called browse router. Browse router. Yeah, I was right. Browse router. So we're going to just for a moment cut this and write browse router. Okay, and right there we're going to paste back what we just cut. So from the word browser router, we can browse the routing. I don't know how to put it, but you see, it enables us to browse through different routes. Yeah, that's the English. So it enables us to browse through different routes. So that's like a simple way to put it. So let's go back now. So we'll now go to our app.js and we're going to remove this. Okay, now what we'll be doing, we'll write import router. So from the word router, we can use it to route. Then route the place you want to go to. Just basic understanding. So route. So we're going to create a component router here. And inside router, we'll create a self-closing component route. Alright. And right there, yeah. So right there, we're going to write strict exact path. So we're going to put like the path that we want to go to, and we're going to write the elements, and the elements here is our languages. Yeah, so just copy this down and change this to language. So we're going to import language too. Okay, so we have that set. So we're going to put right there in front of this ID. All right, sorry, rather let's put this code for a gambling mistake. Okay, so let's test it out. Let's test it out. You should never have more than one router in your app. Why this thing the vex? See, it's on the honest. When I see red, my heart is to beats. What did we do? I'm lost. I'm really okay. You write routes. I don't know. I'm not usually like this, trust me. It's routes, not router. Let's check. Okay, so let's try something like language. Okay, I said I didn't want to use Brave, so let's use something like language. Okay, yeah, so we put language to see that we actually get maneuvered to this page. So it's actually working. So that's how you route. That's how you link between pages, move from one page to another. So we also want the case in situation that when we click, like I said, when we click on one of this, we want to be able to actually route somewhere else. So that means we're going to nest all of those things inside a link. Okay, so we'll start by importing. Okay, link from React add-on. So I'm going to cut with. Okay, so I'm going to just let's take this out for a minute, and let's create our link element. So just paste it back right here. So we'll write an href, or rather, sorry, 2. Yeah. So in the 2, we're going to put it in template strings, and we're going to use the $sign. Yeah. So after putting the $sign, yeah. So yeah, because it's supposed to be a slash. You get, like when you're moving from one page to another, you keep saying that slash thing. So we're going to put a slash right before the $sign, and we're going to put language the whatever code we put. I don't think it's going to work now with it. Let's use Brave for now. Okay, you can see that this link has been. So if you click on it, it's not going to show it. So you can see it shows the code here, AF. Okay, so if I click on, that's why I don't used to use Brave. This thing is annoying me. So let's just go back to look there. So if I click on here, you see we see it here, and we're not seeing anything here because we are yet to render anything. Let's see if we find it. I don't think we'll find anything now because I've not console. Yeah, I won't see anything because I'm yet to. I think I'm yet to render that. Yeah, so I think I'm yet to render it. So let's just go on. So you get we're getting the code here. So yeah, I think we can also, should we remove I'm not here for CSS. Let's just go into the real GraphQL thing. Alright, so next thing we'll now do is that we actually want to do something similar. So like I said, since we're using hooks, we are not going to put everything in the same page. So I'm just going to come here and create another hook and call it use language s.js. Okay, so we can do the RFCE, and then we'll import GQL, and we import use query, okay, from Apollo clients. Rain is falling. It's going to be a bit noisy. Rain, don't interrupt this video, okay? So just do something basic here. So like we did before, we're actually going to be creating our const, okay? And this time we're going to name it get language. get language singular, but singular. Then we do what we did before, GQL. Okay, sorry. Alright, so I'm just going to paste what we add there right inside here. But there's going to be a difference now. So if you copy this and paste it right inside here, alright. So we're going to come here and we're going to say const. We say we have 3 objects. Okay. Yeah, we're going to say error, loading, and data. Then this is going to be equals to use query. Sometimes the breeze is usually so much that the window starts shaking, and I'm like, nobody's here with me. Why is it shaking? Oh, this house is not haunted. Where's my own house? Okay. So we're going to write so we're making use of variables now because we're actually we're being more specific. You get? So specific in the sense that we're actually, when we click on something, we're looking for something specific. It's not like in general terms the way we did when we were looking for languages. So we're going to just use this. Okay. So we're also going to return error loading data. Okay, so something that's simple. So we're going to go to I can clear this whole line. I'm not using it. Let's go to language. Yeah, so in our language we're going to import use language. Alright, that's one thing we're going to do. And another thing also be importing, we're going to make use of use params, but I don't think we're using it now. So let's just understand some other basic stuff. So but the thing about this now is that we want it to be dynamic. Are you getting me? I'm taking time to chew my words. Alright, because we want it to be dynamic, which I don't know, we don't want to add code it. Get what I mean? So, but because what we've done here isn't dynamic yet, it's still hard coded. So let's actually make it dynamic. And how are we going to do that? So first, let's give this query a name. We'll give a name of get language. Okay, and we're going to give it, write the code. Okay, we want the code to be dynamic, so we're going to put the $sign code. Okay, and right here, right here we're going to put ID and exclamation mark, meaning that it's actually necessary and important. So right here, instead of having this DE, what we're going to have would be $sign code. Okay, so we could also get the code here. Okay, so we're going to pass it in here. So we have this, and rather than passing it here, we're going to write code. So we're basically passing the code variable to the query. Alright, so we're going to go back to our language. My laptop is eating. It's eating up, man. Okay, right. Oh boy. Just give me 1 minute. So you guys should just refresh on what why is this thing making noise? Must everybody know that I'm using? Yeah. Chew on what we've learned so far as we take this short commercial break. Subscribe to my blog. May you. I'm being humble. May you subscribe to my blog. I think this should be enough. My data was almost finishing, that's why I had to I don't think it's not yet finished before I refill. So yeah, so code. Yeah, we've done that. So I've passed the variable to the query. So what do we do next? So we'll go back to our language.js. Alright, and we're going to be what's this? I sent you work. Okay. If we go to making something use params, so real quick, we're also going to search for where's the page I was using now? Okay, use language. So we're making use of use params. So you guys will group together what use params for. So this is just so I can explain it, but I don't know it all. As per like just to inculcate in you the habit of actually searching up things on Google. So use params. So what is use params? Okay, let's just use params is a client component hook that lets you read a route's dynamic params filled in by the URL. So by making use of dynamic params, you guys should get So basically, let's just go back and let's continue this thing. It's creepy. So const code is equals to use params. Alright, and because we're going to make it dynamic based on whatever code the person clicks on, and code in the sense that based on the API, all these things go away. All these things we're clicking on, they are codes. Like the API call them codes. Code. Do you get? So that's it. So we're going to write const. What we did, loading. Let me type it out so I'm not lazy. Error. Okay. Error loading data rain. Don't come noisy because it can overshadow my voice. Hope you guys are hearing me well. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to write const error loading data. Like those are the objects we're passing, because we're going to create a state when it's an error, when it's loading and when it's data. And you know that I use this something that in my head, like if there's an error, I want to show this, and I want you to realize, observe that it actually works. So let's go back to. So is it still loading? And then let's do something in case that there's probably an error. What can we do if there's an error? How can I make this an error? Let's try and omit something here. Okay, I know what to do. So let's go to our use languages, so I can show you what the page will actually render. Instead of name, let's put NAME. So if you come here, you see that oops, an error occurred. So maybe when you're working with it, you can actually style it. How maybe you can put a spinner, or the way maybe Google will show oops, an error if you want to put a game, those kind of things. So let's put that back. So let's just go back to our language and let's get our code running. So we pass in the code here because we are making specific requests. We're using variables now. So here we're going to put if there's an error. Okay, if there's an error, also want to return div. To return a div like we did before. I don't have energy to write this again, so I'm just going to copy this that we did there. And let's also see our data in the console. So I'm just going to paste this here. Alright, so now we want to be able to access the results using a query name. So that's what I'm going to do. So access results using a query name. Right. Right here, I'm going to put a const language because data the language. Alright. And right. Let's see. Let's check our console and see if anything is working right now. I was just about to see if I see error. I will not even look at it. So okay, let's click on something. Let's click on this. Yeah, so we see loading false, error undefined, data undefined, false, error new. So we're yet to actually get a data, I think. Okay, Okay, loading false, error undefined. Yeah, we are getting data, and we got the BN Bengali that we clicked. So let's go back and let's actually click on something else. So watch carefully now. So let's go down. What language can we pick that sounds familiar to me? Okay, Italian. Okay, so here we can see the data right here, and we can see that it's actually what we clicked that we are getting. So let's go back here and actually let's render it on, and we can also remove this, and let's console. Let's see just the data on our console. No, CLG. I said no. CLG. Yeah, so console data. So I'm just going to go here and let's right click. Let's inspect sources. Console, and we can also see it's also Italian. We're just getting the data because it's actually the data that we are just console.login permits me to use that word, you get. So that's just what we're using. Alright, so we'll go back and let's actually render this on our website. So we'll style this a little bit. Let's probably give this a class name of language _ container. Okay, and we'll give another div. I will say class name of language _ content. Okay, I can spell language, I can't. So let's come right here and we're going to map over the data you get. So we're going to do, but come to think of it, we don't need to be mapping over it because we're not actually looking for, like, it's just because once we click on a particular like box, like how it is here, once you click, let's go back. We're not really mapping over anything. It's not like once we click on it, there's something. We're not really iterating over anything. So let's go on, and right here, the div, we're going to do something similar to what we did before. So let's come back to this native and let's just copy this. I can't stress. So let's copy this and we're going to paste it right here too. So when we so when we click on here, you see it's working. So if I go back, let's go back and let's look for let's go to the end. Chinese, alright. So when you click on it, you see the code, the name, and the language. Alright, so we're almost done. So now thing we'll be looking at is lazy query. Use lazy query. So what's use lazy query about? So basically, that sometimes you probably want to do something before you perform something. You understand? Like, you want to boil the meat, you want to do the stew before you cook the rice. So basically, lazy query is kind of delaying something. So until you perform that certain action, another thing can't happen. So we'll be experimenting this by using something, by like creating a search box where you can actually search for the various names, and you see how use lazy query can be implemented. As I'm saying all these terminologies, I also implore you to read the docs and go through a number of things. So I think we're done here, and let's just go to so let's create what should we create now? Let's create a search component. Okay, so just going to come here, I'm going to search .gs here, and let's do a quick component like that. So let's go to our index.js because we're also going to be able, app.js, because we also want to be able to route to our search. So okay, so I'm going to come here and let's just put this down here and put this to be search instead. So right here, I'm going to write search. Okay, so let's go back to the browser, and if you go back to the browser and you come here and use search, it's going to take us to the search page. So let's real quick customize the search page and let's show how it's going to look like. Okay, so we're going to do some basic stylings here, nothing too serious. Okay, so we can just create a div component. I said div, okay, where did that? And we'll write input. Let's create a simple input box, and here we're going to, and if you see it, you have that. So let's create a button. Okay, with the button, and we're going to write search. So we have it right here. Okay, something quite simple. Okay, so what do we want to do first? We actually want to be able to, search for something and get it. Okay, inspo. So you guys. Yeah. So yeah, basically I've mentioned something about the importance of reading docs. So personally, when I was trying to actually wrap my head around this, there's a particular way you search for queries. You can, in different APIs, there are different ways you search for queries. But in this particular API, when they did the docs, there's a different way you actually search for queries. Now, EQ, IN, regex, I don't know what that is. Like, I didn't know what that is, and you might also know what that is. So is when I went through the docs, this is where you find the docs form. I'll probably also link it down. But like, we initially in the beginning we searched for APIs, and from there we got linked to where they're talking about the APIs. So this is the docs here. Just click on the GitHub repository there. So it said that the filtering logic is powered by Swift, and this API supports the following operators: EQ, NE, IN, NIN, and regex. So you might be wondering what all this is. If you're wondering, I'm not going to be explaining it here. Take your time and read through the docs. But let's actually read through some minor things together so you get your head wrapped around it. Let's see what this two is. Let's open this in a new tab. I think they are the same thing, but okay, two words. So basically, when you use something like in, what it does that it checks if an array, it says that an array value must be in, yet an array value must be in the given query. So intersecting two arrays, that's when you make use of in. So another example is this acts more like the OR operator. So that's one. So exists, this checks if a value exists. GT checks if a number is greater than a value. GTE checks if a number is greater than or equal to the value. GT checks we're not looking at all these, please. Then EQ, okay, we'll be looking at EQ. EQ checks if query is equals to a value. So like you said, note that EQ can be omitted. Okay, and let's move down. Let's move forward. I'm looking for I think I use IN. Okay, I think we already saw IN, that's in. What did it say about it? Yeah. So it checks an array value must be in the given query. So that's just a major all sorts of it. So in the Jesus is Lord. Alright. I thought this thing wasn't recording. I had to fry. So it's recording. Okay, so in this God, nothing happened before. I was doing a video, and this video was, I can't remember, I never ended up posting it. Okay, I think when I was planning on doing like the HTML tutorial, I did several videos for it. I think if I made conclusion on how to go about it, and I was recording for about 2 hours, and then this thing wasn't recording. I was like, hey. Wasn't tears at that moment. It was just no hope. But anyways, so ever since then, I was conscious, like, hope this thing is recording. So like I was saying, not to beat around the bush, but we see various examples here where you can actually make use of this thing. So we make use of them. Let us copy this. So here are some examples of filtering that you can copy and paste into the program for yourself. And one of it, like you said, these are the things that it supports. So let's go to the playground, and we're just going to paste this here. Well, you're probably going to get an error. I'm not sure if it will work. Okay, I told you. So I'm just going to, honestly, my face, oh, I can move my face. Hi. So I'm just going to, comment this out for the meantime. Also comment this one out. And then earlier in the beginning of the video, we actually made use of like using, we queried for countries. So let's just see what. So you can see here we have AS American. And let's do this now. Okay, this one countries in NAFTA or whatever. So use in here. So that means this must actually be there. And what did we learn about in? We saw that, where's the docs again? So it said in means that the array value must be in the given query. So that means whatever value we're passing here was actually be in the given query, and we can actually see it. So let's check for ng2. All right, so you can see Nigeria here. Okay, we can see the 3 this in there. So let's do the last one, and we're going to see how we can apply it when working with our own query. So if we play this out, okay, there's an error here. I wasn't really able to figure out what it was, because I've never used Sift. Like Sift is not like something like you said, Sift, I don't know what that is. So but reading the docs actually gives you, is a MongoDB, so it gives you more in-depth into what it's actually about. So you don't really, so try to read docs. So ChatGPT is important, but also take your time to read docs. Lesson for the day. All right, so just go back right here. So how are we going to actually use this? Because we're not making use of countries, we're making use of languages. So let's just go back, and I'm going to copy this one, so you guys can also see. If you don't know how to do everything from the start, see, just when you copy and paste, just do some editing, you get. So let's just remove this. Okay, I'm going to change this to languages. Okay, and there's something I also read, then I will show you guys. So we can just remove this. Okay, and one of the languages, so we saw AF, we saw AM, and we saw AR, and if you do this, it's going to work. So hold on, so that's just so if you're the copy and paste kind of person, also, so this is a way you can also manipulate. You don't really know how to go about it. So you can see this is actually okay. So there's something I also read in the docs, and what was that? All right, so filtering. Okay, the countries, continents, and languages top level query fields accept an optional filter argument that causes results to be filtered on one or more subfields. The continents and languages fields can be filtered by their code, while countries can be filtered by code, currency, or continents. I think sometimes you just read and you're not following your head. So yeah, what I read was that the continents and languages field can be filtered by their code. So you can only use code to filter languages and continents. But if you want to filter currencies, you can filter them by code, or you can filter them by currency as per USD, NG, Naira, and all that. Then you can also filter them by their continent. But yeah, we're filtering languages, so that means we're only filtering it with code. Do you get? Yeah. So we already have this set. We can just copy and paste this right back in our code. Okay. So right up here, I won't be creating any hook for this one. I'm just gonna put it right here. So create a constant and call it get languages _search. Okay, and let's import GQL. No, not this. What was all in capital letter? Oh my goodness. Import GQL. I will import use lazy query this time. Don't forget we're making you use lazy query, and you can also let's search what. So you why I'm not using my mouth too much to explain this is that what's in my head sometimes not what is coming out. You get. So use lazy query. So use lazy query. Query, yeah. So use lazy query hook is perfect for executing queries in response to events other than rendering. So the hook acts just like use query. You know, we use query. So with one key exception, when use query is called, it does not immediately execute its associated query. Like, you know, I mentioned when we said that, I said that it's like waiting for something to be done before it gets executed. So yeah, that's it. So let's go on. Don't worry, we're going to sort this out. We're not done with the stuff. So get languages underscore search is equals to GQL. Then we're going to put our template strings, and we're going to put this right inside there. We're going to paste it right here. But the thing is that we want this to be dynamic, because we want to actually be able to search for various things and get our stuff. Okay, so wanting it to be dynamic, we're going to write here get languages, give it a name. Come on, no, okay, get languages search. I don't know, that makes sense. Well, so right here we're going to put code string. Okay, so we're putting a filter now, and we also want this to be flexible, dynamic. That's what I mean. So we're also going to put $, and we're going to write code. Okay, so let's also add native right here. Okay, so we have that set. So what did I do? What we usually do is what I did. When creating a constant, we name the constant get languages underscore search. Then we did query languages is supposed to be search, my dear. Okay, then because we want it to be dynamic, then we did the $code, and the code is a string. So because it's contained inside this quotation, this quote apostrophe here. So then we're filtering it, you get. So we put the code, and inside we said we put this. Okay, so we want to get the name, the code, the name, and the native. All right, so let's go back to our search button. My mouse is angry. Hold on, please. Mouse, okay, it's working. So what we want to do now is that we want to be able to actually receive things inside our input box. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to making use states. Okay, so go back here and let's import use states. You don't have to import it necessarily. When I mean, you have to import it, but I'm saying that sometimes that if you did not import it here and you're writing the code here, it can automatically import itself. So we're going to write use states, and we're going to give it a name of code. Okay, code, and click on tab, code, click again. Okay, and yeah, just leave it like an empty string. So we're going to create another constant, and we're going to say get language search. Okay, because to loading error data, and he has one more thing we're going to do this time, code, because we're calling it, so we write code. Okay, so equals to use lazy query. It's not use query this time, use lazy query. Okay, and there we're going to write get language search. Okay, so right there, let's also console the log, code loading data. Okay, let's put error for error and data. Okay, okay, sorry, this should be okay. I don't think anything will show yet. I doubt it, because I doubt it if anything is showing. Yeah, nothing is good. I don't think so. Is there anything showing? Yeah, nothing is showing. So nothing's going to show yet. Those things that I read, please don't look at them. I'm not doing anything about it. We move. So okay, let's actually get this thing to work. So we're going to add our value here and put code, and on change we're going to put an event E. What's this? What's going on? An event, and we're going to give that. Why is there an error here? Oh, damn it. It's supposed to be code. It's supposed to be in small letter. Yeah. So we're going to come here and give it it's going to be like an event. Okay, and we're going to set code e.target value. Okay. Alright, so in our button, we also want to like add an on click. What should happen when we actually click it? Alright, so we're going to put on click. Okay, and the on click, we're going to put the get languages search. Okay, and we know we're passing in variables because we're being more specific. So we're being specific. So we're going to be making use of variables. And in variables, we're going to write code, passing like the code as a variable. Okay. So that I'm not so sure if anything's going to happen. So we're not still getting anything. So let's go back here and let's actually render it in our website, okay? And so we can start wrapping up. So in our other pages, okay, we did rendering, we did conditions for what, like if it's loading, show this, if there's an error, show this. So we did the same thing here, okay. So I was going to render it right here. So if it's loading, but this will be time, it will be a little bit different. So if it's loading, we'll do and this and put div and okay. So right here we're going to put loading. Okay. Alright, and right down there we'll do something similar too. And here we're going to say this is going to be error. And right here we're going to say oops. Let's put this O in after letter. Oops, something went wrong. Okay. Then right here we're going to do data. Data. Okay. I'm going to put div. And here we're going to put data. The languages. Yeah, language spelling today. Languages. So we're going to map over it. Okay. And here we're going to say language. That's the singular. Yeah, that's the spelling shape. Yeah, language. Okay. And let's create a div element. Okay. And that div should also have, let's also open right here. And that div should also have a key. Okay. And what will that key be? That will be the code. So language.code. Okay. And just down here below, we're going to do what we did before. I don't have energy to write this, but this time we're just going to be making use of the name. Let's just use this too. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to put this down here, and let's just space it. Okay. So we have this. I think we're set. It should work now. We shouldn't get any error. Fingers crossed. If you get any error, yeah, it's working. So you can see now that if you put am, I will search for it, you get error. If I put ar, search for it, you put something like he, search for it, you get something like this. What other one is there? So let's go back here. Let's look for something else. Let's look for something that we know. Finish. FIFRGAGL. Okay. FRFGAGL. Okay. Search. Okay. So FR. Okay. FA. I don't think F is a thing. Okay. GR. Okay, I don't think that exists. GL. Okay, so basically you can see that it's actually working. So that's actually basically how to use GraphQL. But there's one more thing I'm yet to touch, and that's mutation. I'm going to do another video for that, and that's because I want to take it big, and I feel that it's important and also something you also be making use of quite often. So basically I'm going to give a brief explanation on it, and I'm going to do it in another video, maybe next week or next 2 weeks, depending on how I'm chance, because I'm juggling. I'm the juggler of the juggle. I'm juggling a number of things. So basically what I use mutation means, when you use mutation, it means that you're dealing with the data that you can update, you can delete, you can change, and basically data that you are changing, you're updating something. That's when you make use of use query. So I'm planning that we'll actually do something like today was just a very mini project, mini theme, just for you to understand the basic of GraphQL. I'm planning to do another video where we'll actually apply this and actually building a larger application, making use of React, making use of JavaScript, making use of GraphQL, and it's going to be a really exciting thing for each and every one of us to do. So I'm also anticipating it. I'm going to upload it very soon by God's grace. So just before we go, I also want us to just play around some other APIs, so it's not as though you're just so you're not boxed. And like I said in the start of this, we came here to actually find various APIs. So let's actually play around with those APIs, okay, so you understand. So let's start. Okay, I saw this. Let's do this Ricky and Morty API. Okay, so let's try it out here. So if I click on Ricky and Morty API now, Morty. So let's copy this and let's just go here. Okay. Ricky and Morty API. Yeah, so let's just paste it here. So if you do that, we check the docs for it, and we see that there's a this is my face away. So here you can see character. So let's query based on what we see. We could query for character, or let's query for characters rather. Query for characters. Now what do we find under the characters? We find that we have info and results. So that means under info will just be left like that. Like info, we get to see the count, the pages. Okay, let's just look for pages. Then we can go also look for the results, as you can see, and in the results we see things like the name, the type, the gender. Okay, and let's try for location. My face, go away for the meantime. So location, and we can get the image, we can get the episode. Okay, and in the episode we can get something like it goes on and on and on. So you can get the name, you can get the created, you can get the ID. So you can get the name, okay, you can get the ID. I feel like this is too bulky that I may not end up working. Just hold on. I'm really doubting. Yeah, I see if I need. I just name it. So I think what might be missing. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to keep this thing really simple. Okay, let's try this. Include characters info and see what's okay. Yeah, it's working. So we can see here we get the characters, we get the info pages, page 42. The result you get Rick Sanchez is a male, episode, name, pilot, ID, created, you can see the date, name, Lamod. We can just see various things. So let's pick out one more thing and I'll move on. You can see this. What other thing? Okay, let's pick up another API. I just want to, let's just explore, so you don't feel like you're boxed to using just the API. So if you want to learn and just really flex your knowledge, so you can just do that. I mean, flex, you get what I mean, just your brain. So that let's see. I think I saw what that one can do. Let's try this Star Wars. I don't know, my nose has been tricking me. Okay. Alright. So we have this, so let us copy this and we can just paste it here. Well, before I go, let's do something. Okay. Let's try something. So character. So character, let's try and let's look for the character in the ID of 4. So like say I want to look for the name, I want to look for the episode. Let's see if that's going to work. There's an error somewhere. Okay, so this is working out. We search for the character for the ID of 4 and we see name, bed, episode, blah blah. So let's so I wanted to try one before. Let's check the docs. Okay, I don't think I've entered it. So enter. So this should work now. Come on. Okay, shall I restart this? Okay, let's put this here. Okay, we are ready. So this is the default thing we get to see. So and why again I didn't use mutation was that the one we were working with, that was countries, it doesn't come with mutation. You can see, you can just see it, just query it came with. You can see there's no mutation here. Should get. So what can we look at here? Let's look at let's try all films. Oh, let's see which one looks interesting here. Oh, vehicles. I think we should try this. I don't know. I think when you're pick something that you're accustomed to. See why I didn't pick this one. I'm not a film person. I'm the most. I know that I don't watch film, but I watch outdated things like where are you? Do you live on that rock? You get. So I don't think I know much about Star Wars. I know, and so okay, let's try this Starship thing. Starship. Okay, I think we can. Okay, let's try and work around with it. If I can't do it, I can't do it. But let's just give it a try. I don't seem to find any name here. So okay, Starship name. Let's change anything. Okay, it's supposed to be an ID. I don't know what the ID is like. Okay. Let's go to Starships. All Starships. then I think we can do starships. Okay, and there we can get the name, the model. Okay, let's try this. Okay, we did it. Yeah, so that's just like something you can go on with. So I think if you should that be an ID? If it's the case that we're working with a single starship, I can't seem to find an ID here. Okay, there's an ID. So the ID is a schema ID. Let's see if we can find what the ID is about. Okay, yeah, this is the ID. Oh, it's quite complex, so have fun. So that's one. Let's do one last one, and we'll call it a day, or call it a video. It's about 1 hour 30 minutes already. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. So let's just go back here and we'll try one more. I saw something related to Tesla. That's cool. So yeah, SpaceX rather. So try it out here. So also read the docs. Like I said, read docs about it, give you a better understanding. So yeah. You guys think okay. So So let's reload this. I'm not a fan of this background, but you see, this is where I code most times. So like, I didn't just want to disrupt the flow. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay here today. Yeah, than like having to rearrange and stay behind the curtain again. Slightly cliche. So okay, let's see this. Let's see this. Oh, Mr. What's his name? It's not Mark Zuckerberg now. What's that guy? The X guy, the Twitter guy. Oh, the guy had it coming. He named the thing SpaceX. So obviously, anything he buys again with very soon is Xla. Not it. I don't know. Sorry for the come and shoot me. So yeah. So ships, right? Ships. So let's do a query for ships. Alright, so ships. With ships we can find the ID, we can find the image, we can find emissions, and let's check the model, and let's check if emissions if you need something. So in emissions you can find the name and the flight. Okay, so let's try this out and see how the thing goes. Alright, so let's pick this image and see what it's showing us. Yep, so you can see various things. So I think you guys, that comes to the end of this video. I think I've tried to explore as much as I can. So I'm just going to rounding up notes. So as you can see, you're more than just someone that can convert design to code. You can actually now make use of data. So that makes you like a mid engineer. You get, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, you're still a front-end engineer, but yet at least now you can try and manipulate data. So concerning using mutations, I plan on doing another video of that depending on when I have time and how I'm able to organize my schedule. Also yeah, so you guys should just like, share, and subscribe to this video. I hope to do more nice videos, and I did a poll of what video to do next. This is the next video I did, but still, like, I want to hear your suggestions. I'm thinking of doing maybe a React Native tutorial, just on the basic fundamental of it. Then I mentioned an educational website using React. I also mentioned a portfolio website using React, and the third one was a bit more advanced. We're going to making an e-commerce website and we're going to add a Stripe payment there. So the thing is that I'm going to do all those videos, but I just want to, the order is just the confusing thing. So I thought, okay, why don't I ask you guys, what do you actually want now next? So this GraphQL just came out of vibes, so I'm waiting on your feedback. Okay, so yeah, subscribe to the video, like, share, and subscribe. I said that. But guys, bye. Take care of yourselves. Thanks.